So I want to talk about something really quick because I just thought of it right now because I didn't really touch on it too much. But this is the reason why you don't really donate to Kickstarters that you don't really know, and that it's basically people who are randoms that are starting it, because this person didn't really keep up to their words on a Kickstarter that some might have heard of and some might have not. But maybe some of you guys forgot about it if you did hear about it, but I'm here to bring it back. It was all about Super Retro Squad. That has changed, in case you guys haven't kept up with it. And in case people don't know what I'm talking about, let me give you a little history. A long time ago, around 2011, there was a game called Super Mario Crossover. The very first version of the game had Link, which is from Zelda, of course, Metroid. I'm pretty sure you guys know who that is. Some game called Metroid. I don't really know nothing about it. And then there was Mega Man. And then there was someone from a Castlevania game that had a whip and they could throw axes. And then there was Mario. That game was really popular, and the person who was making the game, Jay Pavlina, he made the game grow more and more by adding characters like Sopa and just much more characters to the game and much more level designs. The levels are still there in Mario from 1 to 12 or whatever, but he changed the designs to make it look like SNES from other video games, but just in the Mario style. It was an incredible game for its time. And then, in 2012, of June I believe, he has launched a Kickstarter to make his very own version of a video game called Super Retro Squad. And it was going to have a team of people working on it, which is why he needed the money. He raised $50,000 from the Kickstarter and it was a success. He even raised more money from, what is it called, jump goals or something like that, stretch goals. So the Kickstarter went well when it came to money terms. But in the future, let's move on from 2012 to the future. He renames it Super Action Squad, and the game even looks better. But then, let's move on to around 2014. In 2014, he announces that the group is no longer together, that they're basically split up. And then when it comes down to this year, 10 months ago, he releases his own version of the game called Operation Pixel. And Operation Pixel doesn't show much, but it definitely doesn't look anything like Super Action Squad did. The soundtrack sounded amazing, the graphics and gameplay looked amazing, he was shooting armadillos and stuff like that. And now we have Operation Pixel, which looks nothing like the game he was going to kickstart for, and people are demanding money. He is giving some refunds, but some people say it's been on hold and stuff like that. This is just a conspiracy theory from me, but maybe it was a plan all along for this Jay Pavlina dude to have a Kickstarter so he could just pretend to have a team, paid them $50 each to have a line or something and do all that stuff. And they shot with a bunch of computers and stuff inside of his own house to make it look like they bought a house and done that so they could just take the money and run, which I'm guessing didn't go well. So now they need refunds and stuff because it's legally what you have to do, or you could go to jail or get sued if you don't give Kickstarters their refunds. People could take you to court for that. They probably thought they would get away scot-free just doing that, but who knows. I don't think it should be a issue with the team because they did get enough money to support them and the game, so I don't know why. Especially if you're going to his site, he's getting ad revenue, which is money. He has plenty of ways to get money, but he's basically not using it for the game or for their jobs or whatever. I'm not in his shoes, so I don't know what I can basically say about it, but that's just my conspiracy, is that since he had some knowledge of how to make a game, he made a quick trailer of showing the game and it never turned to be. And this is the reason why you don't really trust people that use Kickstarters, because you don't know them. They could very well do this. It's 2016. The Kickstarter was launched around 2012 and we haven't had the game yet, which sucks so badly because I discovered that game, Super Mario Crossover, the very first version, at school. The time when I wasn't really allowed to play violent video games because the schools wouldn't allow it. And basically, going back to that game, at least the first version that I found on PlayHub, it brings me back and makes me realize that when I saw the trailer for the first time in 2012, I was excited and I was waiting and waiting and waiting for this game to come. Super Action Squad, Super Retro Squad, whatever you want to call it. And this game just never came. It's still not out. And then they change it to this Operation Pixel thing that doesn't look even as interesting because I don't know what Jay did with the game because he doesn't have his team anymore. So maybe he had to slack and he had to create a whole new version of the game and delete everything that was in progress. That's just a speculation, but that's probably what happened. I don't know. The game looks different. It doesn't look as advanced. I will send a link into the video description of the video he was kickstarting with, and you guys can check out his channel and go to most recent video one by one and you could see what you think about it, because to me it just seems like he was failing much more and more each video, and that I guess now the game's not going to even happen because he doesn't even have the team anymore and he's done with the game. He's silenced. He hasn't said anything about it, and it's been 10 months since he posted a video. So honestly, I don't know what to think right now, besides the only thing that's functional and still remaining about Jay Pavlina is his Super Mario Crossover game. Other than that, the game Super Retro Squad, Super Action Squad, Operation Pixel, that's history. It doesn't exist anymore. It's done. It's just something that can only be a dream come true, can only be history. It's something that will never happen or see the day of light, from what I know, because people are asking for refunds and they're probably not going to have enough money to do it. The whole plan was to basically port it on consoles and port it on iOS and Android and stuff like that, but it just never made the cut now, and it will never make the cut now. So that's about it. I believe that some Kickstarters can be possible, like the people from Playtronics that are doing Yooka-Laylee. Obviously, they're ex-Rare employees that worked for Nintendo. They left Rare and they made their own company called Playtronics. They are doing very well right now because of the Kickstarter. They would have not been where they are today if nobody kickstarted them all that money. They got a lot of money, and now the people from behind Rare have a fighting chance in the gaming industry because of it. So it's not like Kickstarters are a bad thing, because Playtronics Rare would have not exist today if it wasn't for it. But you know, people like Jay Pavlino that can't keep up with a promise, it just pisses me off when stuff happens like this, because I really wanted this game to come out, but it's not going to come out now. And I have no beef with the guy, and I don't hate him for it, but this is just what happens when you do stuff with strangers. Who knows, maybe he'll watch this video and get pissed off because maybe I'm not understanding the full spectrum of what's happening. Again, that's why I'm not accusing. This is all speculation, but at the same time, it still sort of pisses you off. Rather, someone's in the right or wrong. This game was promised in 2012, and it never came to be. So, rather I'm wrong for speculating and saying things that are wrong about the guy, it's still the fact the game hasn't came out yet, which is why people have a right to be pissed off and speculate about these things. But in the end, all you could do is just look at something that would have been possible, could have been possible, if the team had worked on it hard enough and they stayed a team. Which, to where they sound, it wasn't really possible, and they sound like it was the hardest thing in the world when they were halfway through the game. That's all I got to really say about it, though. Just wanted to share you a history of something that used to be but is not anymore. Anyways, I'm out.